Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. So today I'm going to share with you all my favorite manga that I read in 2020. This video was meant to upload on New Year's, but you know already if you follow me on Instagram, that video was a big fat fail. Yeah, the video came out horrendous and it wasn't editable or anything like that. But yeah, so today I'm here to deliver, as a lot of you guys on Instagram voted yes, that you still want to see this video. So yeah, just a bit of background. So you guys already know that I only started recollecting manga again in October 2020. So a lot of the manga that I read in 2020 were manga that was already in my collection, and my collection is very shoujo and romance heavy. So a lot of that is going to get featured in this video. Also bear in mind some series here are classic shoujos, so they may be quite hard to find nowadays as some of them are out of print and they were published by Tokyopop. But yeah, other than that, some of the shoujo or josei series or even shonen series in this video were featured in my haul. So yeah, hope you don't mind that. Hopefully in 2021 this year that I can dwell into more other genres. But yeah, I started recently getting into shonen again, so yeah, it's been nice. So there are gonna be a lot of shoujo series in this video, and probably from the looks of it there's only 2 shonen, so hope you don't mind. But if you guys are a shoujo, romance, josei lover, this is the video for you. I feel like a lot of the series that I'm going to mention today, some of them are very slept on, so hopefully you guys can pick some of these up. And if you guys need a manga recommendation, especially within shoujo, yeah, this video is for you. And yeah, before we get started, you know the drill, give this video a like, comment and subscribe, and then click on the bell. And yeah, thank you for the love and support as always, and yeah, let's get into the video. So I just updated my Instagram to tell you guys that this video is going to come out tomorrow. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me there at himika_00. But anyway, I'm really excited today as Attack on Titan, the new episode is coming out today. It is Sunday the 10th of January. But yeah, I feel like I'm talking too much, but on to the video. So the first manga series that I read in 2020 was Marmalade Boy, and this is a oldie but a goodie, and I will consider this as a classic shoujo manga. And this is written by Wataru Yoshizumi, and she is my favorite classic shoujo mangaka. She has a lot of manga that is published in Japanese that I love. However, the one that are published in English, I will say it's a hit and miss. In my opinion, out of all of Wataru Yoshizumi's manga that's published in English, I will say Marmalade Boy is the best one, hands down, out of all of them. My favourite one that's in Japanese is Handsome Girl. If you guys get a chance to read it, it's such a great series. But the other series that are published in English, I will say, the reason why I say it's a bit meh, let me just see if I have the series here. Yeah, I do. So I have another series that I read in 2020 by the same mangaka, but this, if I was 11 or 12 years old, I would have really enjoyed it. But reading this as a grown adult, it's just not for me. It wasn't like, yeah, it wasn't fun or anything. It was just like, oh yeah, I just read it, that type of thing. But Marmalade Boy, however, this manga series, I really enjoyed it. This series got a lot of drama, it's so fun. It's like a roller coaster when you read it, and Marmalade Boy was such a fun read. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a synopsis. If you know me already, I am the worst manga YouTuber out there with explaining synopsis, but a lot of you guys said it's actually okay because I don't spoil anything for you guys. But yeah, so the synopsis is basically about this girl who is called Miki, and she is in high school, and it starts off basically she comes home from school and her parents just came back from a lovey-dovey holiday, and they were like, Miki, we love each other but we want a divorce. And Miki was like, a divorce? Like, what? I swear you guys went on a lovey-dovey holiday. Why do you guys want a divorce? So background story was, during their lovey-dovey holiday, they met another couple called the Matsudas, and they all fell in love. So basically they kind of had like a wife swap where they swapped partners. So Miki's mum was now with Mr. Matsuda, and Miki's dad is now with Mrs. Matsuda. And what's even more weird that's about to come for Miki is that her parents suggested that they're all gonna live in one household together. So Miki Miki's parents plus the Matsuda's, and also the Matsuda has a son as well. So Miki is like, I thought I was just gonna start high school, gonna live a simple life, but now I got all this drama. So yeah, this series is a fun one. There's a lot of romance. So yeah, this is a very interesting story. I love that it is a classic shoujo manga. I really had a great time reading it, and what I miss about reading classic shoujo mangas or any manga in general is that nowadays they don't have the like author's commentary, but back in the day they used to have lots of it. Let me just find an example where, oh there, okay. So if you can see on this page, there's this free talk section. So a lot of the old mangas, they have a lot of these commentaries, but nowadays I guess there's too much plot going on with manga series that they always put it at the end page, but it's not a lot. But yeah, I like how I'm reading as I go along, there's always commentary. It's nice to see what the manga was going through at the moment. But yeah, let me flick through some pages for you guys as well. So this is what the cover looks like. As you can tell, the spine is a bit washed out. This is volume 1. But yeah, it is an oldie but a goodie, and yeah, I can't believe I have this in my collection. It is a great series, but I'm just gonna flip through some pages for you guys. The pages are very like hard to turn. I don't know how to explain it. It's like very hard. Yeah, so as you can tell from the art style, this is Wataru Yojizumi's art style, and yeah, you can tell it's a classic shoujo from just looking at it. But yeah, I think the first page, it already says like how her parents want to get a divorce. Let me show you that. So if you can see here, they're like, yeah, we're gonna get a divorce. This series features a lot of romance. You know, the typical childhood friend fancies the protagonist, but the protagonist likes the other guy protagonist. And yeah, you just see how they just work things out. And yeah, it is a very fun series. I believe this manga series used to have an anime too. So this is Miki, this is the childhood friend, this is the male protagonist, this is the Matsuda's son. But yeah, it is a very, very fun series. If you guys can get your hands on Marmalade Boy, I 100% recommend you guys to read it. But at the end of the day, it is a very hard to find manga as it is published by Tokyo Pop. This series was definitely a fun read in 2020. It was also my first physical manga that I read in 2020, as I used to read scans, if you didn't know, or digital manga. Yeah, now I'm back to physical and collecting manga again. Yeah, this really started off for me, I feel like. But yeah, the next series that I want to talk about is Steppin' on Roses, and this series has been slept on, okay? I haven't seen anyone talk about this series at all on YouTube. I have seen it, a few people have it in their collections on Instagram, like with their pictures where I just zoom in, I'm like, oh, they do have Stepping on Roses. But I haven't heard anyone give a review or talk about this series, and yeah, I really feel like this series has been slept on so much. This is one of my favorite shoujo mangas, hands down. I read this, I think, when I was probably 13, like, so definitely a very long time ago, and I feel like it has aged well because still to this day I still enjoy it. So yeah, I reread this during lockdown, and this was a fun series. So this is what the cover looks like. If you can tell from the art style, it is very pretty and cutesy, so it's definitely for the aesthetics. But it does have a really great storyline in my opinion. Lots of plot twists that you guys will be shocked when you read it. But yeah, I'm gonna read a bit of the blurb. So poor Sumi, who is her, she has a very irresponsible brother, Aisuke, who keeps on bringing home orphans for her to take care of, even though they can barely afford their own basic needs. Just when Sumi's financial problems become dire, wealthy Soichiro Ashita enters her life with a bizarre proposition where he provides her with the money that she desperately needs if she agrees to marry him. And yeah, but can Sumi basically fool high society and thinking she's a proper lady, but actually she is not? Yeah, that is the blurb. It is a very interesting series, and it's also talking about, is it worth giving up everything for a sham marriage? But yeah, if you can tell, Sumi is holding cash at the back of the cover. So yeah, it is a very interesting story, but it is that stereotypical storyline where the poor girl marries a rich man who saves her from everything, and you just watch their love blossom. But I feel like the series is more to that. There are some dark elements, not like dark, but as in there's some things that you're gonna be like, whoa, when it comes to the plot twist. And yeah, this series is very fun. I'm gonna flick through some pages for you guys. So this manga is set in like historical times, but when I say historical times, I'll say early 1900s. So yeah, not so long ago, but yeah, it is quite modern at the same time. As you can see, they are suited and booted. So yeah, high class society. If you can tell, ooh, the art style is so pretty. And there is a bit of humour as well. But yeah, this is the first ever series I ever collected in my collection. If you guys didn't know, well, of course you guys wouldn't know because I never mentioned it. But yeah, this is the first manga series I ever picked up. Before I knew about anything like Book Depository or Amazon, I actually bought this full price from Waterstones, all 9 volumes. Yeah, I believe there's 9 volumes, yeah. And yeah, that was quite hefty. I don't know what I was doing, but yeah, I'm so glad I had this in my collection. This series does hold a lot of sentimental memory, as this was my first series I ever picked up physically. So yeah, if you guys ever get the chance to pick up this series, I really recommend you guys do. But I feel like this might be hard to get. I can't imagine this being sold in stores at the moment, so I feel like this might be an online purchase. But yeah, it is a great series, only 9 volumes, so not a lot. It is a fun one if you want a fun shoujo. I really recommend this series. So the next series that I'm really excited to show you all, this is a tearjerker, by the way. If you don't know what it is Full Moon by Arina Tanemura. This is what volume 1 looks like. And yeah, this is a classic shoujo, and if you don't know who Arina Tanemura is, she's a very popular shoujo manga in the Western society, or the Western world should I say. A lot of her works have been published in English, but this one is my favourite. It is one of my favourite manga of all time as well, and me reading this during lockdown was... it was emotional. The way I bawled my eyes out when reading this series, it was great. I feel like this manga has aged well, because even though the series is based on a young character, even at my age now reading it, I still feel emotional when reading it. It plays on my heartstrings, that's what I should say. It's a great one, it's fun. It does have an anime, but it's very old now, so I don't know if you guys are interested. In my opinion, I will say Full Moon is a series that's full of laughter, but at the same time full of tears. Yeah, it is an emotional roller coaster, so yeah, be ready when you read this. I know it can be deceiving, thinking, oh, it's a young character, like it won't be like that sad, but trust me, you'll be deep in your thoughts when you read this. So I'm just gonna flip through some pages for you guys. Bear in mind, this is quite an old series that I got secondhand on Amazon. They said it was near to new condition, but tell me, why do I open my first page and there's this big ass yellow mark? I don't know, but I bought this years ago, so I think I bought this, yeah, I bought this like 3 or 4 years ago. So yeah, it is an old series, but before then this manga was even more beat up. I just cleaned it up a bit, but yeah, unfortunately there are a few stains, but it is what it is. But anyway, so this is what the pages look like. If you can tell, you can see this work is by Arina Tanemura. You can see from her drawing style, it is very unique. So once you see like drawing like this, you will know it's by her. But yeah, she has a lot of series, by the way. But yeah, this series is bittersweet. It does have tragedy, and it basically centers around this girl who is called Mitsuki, and she's 12 years old and she wants to be a singer. However, unfortunately, she has a tumor in her throat which prevents her from being able to sing or use her voice, so she has to be careful. But yeah, she does get monitored by a doctor. But yeah, so one day she meets these Grim Reapers or Shinigamis, and they were able to give her this power where she's able to feel well again, and she auditions to be a pop idol, should I say, and she becomes this idol who is called Full Moon. Of course, when the Shinigami gives the power to help Mitsuki to transform into a 15-year-old to be Full Moon, there are going to be a lot of drama that comes with it. But yeah, this series is very heartwarming at the same time, but when you deep it, you think Mitsuki, who is 12 years old, she has this tumor on her throat, she's going through a lot already, she wants to chase her dreams and all that, and there are other things that happen in the series that is a massive tearjerker, but I won't spoil that. But yeah, this is a great classic shoujo. If you guys don't have this in your collection, I recommend you to add this. It is such a classic shoujo, and it's just the storyline that is just very bittersweet and just, yeah, it's lovely. It's a great read, and yeah, definitely cried a lot during lockdown. I won't say that my emotions were just heightened, it's just that this series really hit the spot for me, and yeah, this is a great one. So yeah, if you haven't read Full Moon, I suggest you do. But yeah, that is it. So the next series that I read in 2020 is Spy X Family. This is a new series that is out at the moment by Shonen Jump, and yeah, if you guys want to read this series, you can read it on the app. If you want to collect it, you guys can collect it very easy since it is a very new series. However, this is such a fun series. Like, I didn't expect it. When, I don't know if you've seen in my haul, when I was talking about the series, I was like, I don't know if I will pick up volume 3, but once I read this series, 100% I'm going to pick up the next volume 3. However, it's out of stock at the moment, so I'm just waiting for it to go back in stock. But yeah, this is a series that I'm going to continue to collect. It's so fun that yeah, it's just different from what I have in my collection. It's not just because it's a shonen. It's not like the typical like shonen series. It's got a lot of fun elements. It's got some cute elements too. Like, definitely if you're a shoujo reader and you want to get into reading shonen manga, it would be a great one to dwell into. But yeah, this series has a lot of fun elements, and I definitely had a great laugh when reading this. But yeah, like, it is a very refreshing read in my opinion, as this series is very different from what I have in my collection. If you can see, there is some colour pages here. The little girl in this series is so cute, and I love the wife as well, who is an assassin. The daughter in the series is so jokes. Like, when you read it and you just see the characters, like just the way they act and talk and the things that they do, it's so funny. Like, yeah, I really recommend this series. Do give it a go if you haven't already. If you want to read it on the Shonen Jump app, go for it. If you want to collect it, go for it. It's so easy to collect. But yeah, I really enjoyed reading this series in 2020. Glad I picked it up. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say for Spy X Family. So the next series that I'm going to talk about that I really enjoyed is Perfect World, and this is a josei series by Kodansha. And if you can tell from the front cover here, you can see that this series is based on a relationship between an able-bodied person and someone that is disabled. And yeah, this series is very heartwarming. I definitely cried a lot. It does touch on a lot of touchy subjects, so if you guys are not ready for that, then I really recommend you guys. But yeah, I really enjoyed this series. This is such a great josei series in my opinion, and the art style is so pretty as well. I just love the whole new look of all the Kodansha mangas that has come out recently. I love the white background and all that. But yeah, if you can tell in the title, they also add a little wheelchair. I like that little touch on it. But yeah, it is a great feel. It is matte, if you can hear it. Yeah, it's nice. And then they have a spot gloss on the title. But yeah, I'm just gonna flick through some pages for you guys. I feel like I'm not gonna talk too much about this series, as you guys probably heard a lot about me talking about this in my hauls. Make sure you're okay reading this. But yeah, I can't wait to get volume 5. I do have the first 4 volumes in my collection. But yeah, this is an ongoing series that's published by Kodansha. But yeah, I really enjoyed this series. In my opinion, Perfect World is not just a great josei. Like, the plot, there's so much depth and also heartbreaking moments that it makes you think a lot, and I like series when they do that. But yeah, I'll consider this as one of my top favorites. Even though this video I'm talking about my favorite manga that I read in 2020, I would say this would be one of my top 3. Like, yeah, this series impacted me very well in my opinion, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like, if you guys haven't read Perfect World, I really recommend you do, especially if you're a josei fan. This is a series to collect. But yeah, I can't wait to keep on supporting this series and collecting this series. I'm not too sure how ongoing it is, if it's about to finish in Japan, but I know they do have a Japanese drama and a Japanese movie. I have watched a Japanese movie which I really enjoyed, but yeah, I haven't watched the Japanese drama because that would be too much a spoiler. But yeah, if you guys haven't read this or picked this up, I recommend you guys do, and yeah, that is Perfect World. So the next two series that I'm going to combine together, as they are by the same mangaka, and that is by Yu Watase, and that is Ceres the Celestial Legend and Imadoki. I remember reading Imadoki during lockdown as well, and then Ceres the Celestial Legend straight after my first ever manga haul that I did for YouTube. And yeah, these two are such great series. If you don't know who Yu Watase is, she is one of the biggest shoujo mangas out there, and not just classic shoujo manga, just shoujo in general, okay? And yeah, this series, Ceres, hands down a great one. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about Imadoki first, I think. To be honest, this series is a short series. I believe there's only 5 volumes of this in this manga. This is what Imadoki Volume 1 looks like, and I don't really remember much about this series, but I remember reading it in lockdown, just really enjoying it. I was just sitting on the couch and I read all 5 volumes in one sitting, and that's how much I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's why I featured it in this video. Of course, Imadoki is by Yu Watase, who is a great writer. Not only her art style is stunning, but her plot has a lot of depth, in my opinion, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is what Imadoki looks like. I would consider this as a fluffy shoujo. Yeah, a very sweet read. But yeah, I'm gonna flick through some pages for you guys. And the next series is Ceres Celestial Legend, and this is nowhere near being a fluffy shoujo like Imadoki. This is literally the opposite. This has so much dark elements. It is a dark shoujo. Like, yeah, I will say this is a very dark shoujo. And yeah, I really enjoyed this series. I feel like because I read this before and it is one of my favorite manga, like, I cherish this series even more. But however, if you're new to reading manga, you might be confused with the beginning and how Aya gets into a relationship with Toya. Like, it doesn't make sense, like that type of thing. There is gonna be a bit of confusion, but if you like read the plot, like the storyline, it's so enticing. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I got so sucked into the series about the Celestial Maidens. Like, I was so interested about the legends and that stuff. Like, yeah, it is a great series. But yeah, let me just show you guys like what's inside. There might be some graphic scenes. This is considered to be a more mature read for older teens, so bear that in mind. I'm so glad in 2020 I was able to complete this series in my collection, as it was incomplete for so long. But yeah, I'm glad I've got back into collecting manga again, so I can just fill in all the missing gaps. So the next series that I'm going to talk about that I really enjoyed in 2020 that I was surprised about is Blackbird. And if you guys haven't picked up Blackbird, they do have a box set, by the way, so if you do want to pick up, you guys can get the box set and just have the full series. But yeah, I had this in my collection for so long, but I never got to read the whole thing until 2020, as that's when I finished completing it. But yeah, this was a series that I read back in the day when I used to read scans, but now I remember I did drop the series because back then I didn't even know what this series is about. I thought it was boring, like I thought the art style was you know. But now reading this, I have such a different view of Blackbird. This is such a great read. I don't know, like it did pull a few of my heartstrings. While I was expecting to enjoy Blackbird, I thought I would enjoy the smut scenes, that's why I would enjoy the manga series, but actually that wasn't the case. I actually enjoyed the manga because of the romance, and what I mean by that is that the way the protagonist feels about the other protagonist, like, that is unconditional love. Like, he will do anything for her, and not just that, if she ever dies, he will die too. That's how he feels, and that is mad. That is some crazy love there. And when I read this, it was such a sweet romance. Of course, the smut scenes was fun to read, and there was a bit of comedy elements, but what attracted me to this series the most and what enticed me to the series was the romance between these two. And yeah, it definitely made my heart flutter. But yeah, I'm gonna show you some pages. I did say when I was picking up the last few volumes for this manga series in my first manga haul that I did, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared to like read this, as the last few covers looked very, very sad. But it was a great series. I loved the ending, and yeah, let me show you guys what it looks like inside. I think what threw me off when I was younger is that the male characters all looked very, very similar. That's why I was a bit thrown off from reading this, I guess. But to be honest, this series is a great one, especially if you're looking for something that's got a bit of fantasy, yokai, all those good elements, you know, and of course the romance and the smut. It is a good all-rounder in my opinion. And yeah, if you want to read a great series or a great shoujo smut manga with yokai in it, 100% recommend you guys to pick this series up. If you want to save a bit of your coin, definitely pick up the box set, as they do sell it on Amazon or eBay. Or if you're from America, you guys might be able to pick it from Barnes & Noble or like Right Stuff. I'm so jealous of you guys that are able to buy stuff from Right Stuff, because in the UK we don't have any manga deals. So yeah, like normally we either pay full price or a little bit cheaper on Amazon and Book Depository, but we don't have those massive deals that you guys have on Right Stuff. So yeah, I'm really jealous. But if you guys are from the UK, do stop by from Forbidden Planet, as Forbidden Planet does 3 for 2 for the Viz Media titles, if you guys didn't know. But yeah, that is the only deals we have, but I wish we had bundle deals. I really do wish, because I want to pick up like so many series like Arjun, Parasite. You guys had the best deals during the holiday sale, or I think Black Friday, and yeah, I'm so jealous. But yeah, hopefully you'll see those mangas that I just mentioned in my upcoming hauls, because those are the series that I want to collect in 2021. But yeah, that is Blackbird. This is a great series. If you guys haven't read this yet, I suggest you guys do. But yeah, I'm just looking at my battery and it looks like it's gonna die, so hopefully it doesn't die on me, because I have only a few series left to talk about. But yeah, anyway, the next series that I'm going to talk about is Secretly I've Been Suffering About Being Sexless, and I will say this was my, oh, why is the light like this? Okay, there we go, it's a bit bright now. This series is for older teens, but I feel like if you've been in a long-term relationship or even married, you will understand what I mean by reading this. This is a very fun series. It's got lots of comedy in it, however it does make you deep your own relationship a bit. Well, it did for me, because the main thing about this storyline, it was just saying communication is key in a relationship, and it really reflected on the way I like speak to my boyfriend, if that makes sense, and how I get my feelings across. Like, yeah, it did deep. I don't know, like sometimes I love reading manga. It does teach me life lessons in its own way. It might not do for you, but it does for me. This series is a great one, and if you're looking for a fun read, not a lot of commitment, this is your go-to, because it's only a what's it called, a one-shot. Yeah, this series is only a one-shot, so not a lot of commitment. It is a very fun read, and yeah, if you guys can pick it up, do pick it up. So I'm just gonna show you guys a bit of the series. And the main character is just so funny. I don't know, like, even though it's a one shot, you can resonate with her. I know this series title does sound a bit ooh, because it's like Secretly I've Been Suffering About Being Sexless, but it's such a relatable series in my opinion. Yeah, it's very relatable, and what I love about this series even more is actually the manga's experience with her husband. So yeah, I like it. I like how she wrote her own story and turned it into manga. Like, that is so inspiring in my opinion. And yeah, it is a very fun series. I do recommend you guys to read this series, especially you ladies out there that want to read something relatable and something funny, like just not a lot of commitment, as it's only a one shot. Like, yeah, I really recommend this. I had a lot of fun reading this, and I felt like it taught me a lesson as well. So yeah, that's why I really enjoyed this. But yeah, the next manga that I really enjoyed in 2020 is Kare First Love. And I will say, if you want a definition of shoujo manga, this is the definition of shoujo. It has everything that you need in a shoujo manga, and yeah, I'm really excited to read this series. This mangaka actually has another series that's coming out in 2021, and I think it's called Golden Japanese. It is a series that I need to pre-order, but yeah, I can't wait, as this series was a great one. Sorry guys, my camera cut off, and also my SD card is broken. Luckily I found another SD card so I can finish filming this video. But yeah, this is a few hours later, but I guess I need to spend more money in buying SD cards. These are so flimsy. I don't know how it broke. Like, I literally shoved it in the camera and it said it was locked. Then I looked at it and it was like cut, like literally open. Can you see? Literally I can flip it. Like, that's bad. But anyway, oh, I'm so glad I saved my videos on the hard drive when my battery died. But anyway, I think I was talking about Kare First Love, and this series was a great read in 2020 for me. Even the mangaka was saying in her commentary section, saying that a lot of her readers were like writing to her saying that the male character, the protagonist, is amazing and they wish their boyfriend was like that, so they got their boyfriends to read this series as well. As yeah, the main guy character is so dreamy and it does make your heart flutter, and yeah, I really enjoyed this reading it in 2020. This series I read in September, and it was the manga that made me want to recollect manga again, as I only started recollecting it in October. So yeah, this was the series that really made a big deal in 2020, because if it wasn't for me to read this, I wouldn't be collecting manga right now. So yeah, this was a great series. It made me want more fluffy shoujos. It made me want to read more guy characters that like are dreamy, you know, I just want to fall in love. That's how I felt when I read Kare First Love, and yeah, this is a great series, and it is quite a stereotypical plot line. Like I said, if you're looking for a definition of shoujo, this is the series. For me, I really like this manga art style, not gonna lie. Like, it just reminds me of me reading my manga back in the day, and yeah, it's so enjoyable to read. But yeah, it's about this girl who's Karen. At first you can tell she's not a very good looking girl, and this guy who is popular, who is called Kare. This series got a very stereotypical storyline where it's like a girl who's not so good looking becomes beautiful. You know, them ones that wear like braids and wear glasses, they don't care about their looks, but once they have a glow up, everyone's like, oh my god, where did she come from? But she's always been there, type of thing. And yeah, so it's basically the most popular guy goes out with this girl who's not so popular and is not that cute, but actually she is very, very cute and pretty, that type of thing. And you see their romance blossom, you know, high school sweethearts. This is that type of series. So yeah, I don't know if it will interest you guys, but me, when I read this was just sweet. It made my heart flutter. This series really ticked off the boxes for me. Like, I felt so satisfied after reading it. As I said, this was the series that got me into collecting manga again. So yeah, definitely a great read in 2020. But yeah, the next series that I'm going to talk about, a lot of you guys already know. Oh, there's some fluff here. You guys already know this is a very hyped series, Tokyo Ghoul. I am still reading this at the moment. I think I'm on volume 8. And yeah, I've been loving this. Like, as I said, lately I've been getting into shonen series. Tokyo Ghoul was another favorite read of mine in 2020. It was just something different, you know. I just liked how there was a lot of plot, character development, there was some gore, action. Sometimes the fluffy shoujos, of course, there's not a lot of action going on, except from you know where, but but you know what I'm saying, like, there's not a lot of action as in like fight scenes or anything like that. Well, I'm not saying there's lots of fighting scenes at the moment, but there are some scenes that are just like, ooh, this is really interesting, and that is Tokyo Ghoul for me. Like, there's a lot. I feel like anyone will like this. If you're a shoujo reader, shonen reader, seinen reader, josei, whatever, you will enjoy Tokyo Ghoul. It is that series that everyone loves, and yeah, I'm really glad I read this in 2020, and I'm still reading it in 2021, and I'm still enjoying it. I'm still waiting for my Reebok set. It looks like it's nowhere to be seen. I don't know if I'm ever gonna even get it because Amazon hasn't even said anything about it. But yeah, hopefully I get the Reebok set soon. But I'm liking how this storyline is going towards at the moment. And yeah, it's a great one. Let me just flick through some pages for you guys. Also, the art style is just, oh, it's great. I love the little details. I love just the character development, all of it. Definitely, no matter what age you are, I feel like you would like the series. Yeah, it's a great one, and I feel like it's worth the hype. And if you guys didn't know, this does have a box set. That's how I got this series. If you want to save your coin, definitely get the box set, but I don't know if it's harder to find now, as a lot of the places are out of stock or they're just selling at ridiculous prices. But yeah, if you guys can get your hands on Tokyo Ghoul, go for it. But yeah, the next series that I read in 2020 is Arisa by Natsumi Ando, and you guys know how much I love Natsumi Ando, and this series was such a great reread. Like, I remember loving this series, but when I reread it, I was like, yeah, I like this. and this is a dark shoujo. I know it doesn't really look like a dark shoujo, but it is a dark shoujo as it has lots of dark elements to it. It's not like the fluffy ones. So this series is about these two sisters who are twins. One is Arisa and one is Tsubasa. Arisa's that stereotypical high school president, gets A stars in all her grades, got a lovely boyfriend, she's pretty, and then Tsubasa's the one that's like more of a tomboy and a delinquent, you know, the stereotypes. These two sisters got separated during their childhood as both their parents had a divorce, so I think Arisa stuck with her mum and then Tsubasa with her dad. But anyway, so before they got separated, both of them promised that they would stay in touch with each other by writing letters. So yeah, so one day they grew up and they were like, yeah, let's meet up. Somehow in the beginning of the story, Tsubasa is able to live as Arisa for a day. I think she wore like a wig so she can look like Arisa and just basically see what her sister's life is about, because she hasn't seen her sister for a while. She wants to know what her life is like, even though she reads it from letters. And after Tsubasa lives like Arisa for a day, she tells Arisa, she's like, oh my god sis, like you have the best life, the best friends, like you go to such amazing school, like you are like A1, you know, you are perfect. And then Arisa goes, no, like sis, you don't understand what I go through. And for some reason she goes out to the window and tries to commit suicide. I know that it sounds crazy already, and this is the beginning of the story. So she tries to commit suicide, she goes into a coma. Then Tsubasa's like, what the fuck is going on, if that makes sense. She thought, I thought my sister had a perfect life, what is going on? Why would my sister commit suicide? Like what? I thought her life was perfect. So basically she dresses up as Arisa again once more and tries to find out why her sister would want to commit suicide. Like why would she want to end her life? And that's how the story goes, and there's a lot of drama. I haven't spoiled it because there is a lot of things in this series that, yeah, you'll be shocked about. You think like, what? So this is what volume 1 looks like, and this manga series is published by Kodansha. I literally had volume 11 and 12 in my collection for the longest time. So last year when I picked up the first 10 volumes, it was finally like I was able to complete it in my collection. But also it was quite expensive, as this series, I don't think you can get it in store no more. You can only get it online, so it is quite pricey. I think I paid over £8 something for each volume. So yeah, it was very expensive. I think I paid like in overall 80 something pounds for those 10 volumes. But yeah, this is a great series. If you look at the art style, it is very cutesy. But I really enjoyed the plot. There was so many plot twists, and this manga series is set in high school. What I love about this shoujo is that it's not the typical shoujo that's all about romance. It's actually more about sibling love and friendship. But yeah, if you guys haven't read Arisa yet, I recommend you guys to read it. It is such a good series, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love the drama that came with it and all that. But yeah, that is Arisa. The next series that I read in 2020, you guys already know, is my 10 out of 10 series, and that is Requiem of the Rose King. It was the best read hands down of 2020, and I'm so glad I had this in my collection. Like, I think you guys probably are tired of me talk about this series all the time, but it is amazing. It is a 10 out of 10. Like, it's a great shoujo, but you wouldn't even expect it to be shoujo, to be honest, because there's so many dark elements. Like, if I say a definition of dark shoujo, this is a definition of dark shoujo. And I love the fantasy elements, and it's got amazing plot, and I think this is based on Shakespeare, so you know the plot is juicy if it's based on Shakespeare. And the art style is just incredible. Like, all the volumes of Requiem of the Rose King is beautiful. Let me show you guys. I have some right here. Like, if you can see how beautiful, like, this is my favorite cover, not gonna lie. It's so beautiful. Like, this series is amazing, and I can't wait to continue to collect more of it. I feel like I don't want to overhype this series, as I don't want to spoil the enjoyment for you guys if you ever do pick this series up, as in my opinion, when a series is overhyped, it really increases the reader's expectations. And when I read this series, I had the lowest expectations, so that's why when I came to read it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I really want all of you guys to take my opinions with a grain of salt until you guys read a series to make your final judgment. But this series is a good one, and it's hard not to overhype. But yeah, it is amazing. I'm going to show you some pages. There is some gore in this series, by the way, so if you don't like gore, this might not be for you. And it's very similar with Game of Thrones as well, so if you guys like Game of Thrones, this is a great manga to read, in my opinion. The last series that I read in 2020, you guys already know my favourite, is Sweat and Soap, and I feel like a lot more people are picking up this series, which makes me so happy because this series is so simple but it captivates you. I don't know how it does it. You just read it and you want more, and yeah, I'm gonna continue collecting this series in 2021. I love it so much, and Sweat and Soap, I don't know what to say because I feel like I always say the same thing, but you guys just need to read it. That's all I need to say. I'm really curious for people that don't like romance but have read Sweat and Soap. I really wonder like what your opinions are. If you have read it and don't like romance, let me know down below your opinions because I'm really curious about it. But yeah, this series turns out it's not a josei series, guys. I was so wrong in that. I'm so sorry if I have misled you guys saying that this series is a josei series, but actually it is a seinen series. So knowing a lot of us that collect this series, we are not the target audience, as seinen is the target audience is like young teen boys or like young men. So yeah, it literally blew my mind when the series wasn't a josei because it feels like a josei, and for it to be a seinen, that just shows that the target audience is massive, if that makes sense. There's all sorts of readers that are reading Sweat and Soap at the moment, and this is an amazing series that I feel like everyone should read, especially if you like a bit of smut and a simple romance, like office romance should I say. But yeah, it's just simple, you know, and sometimes you need a bit of simplicity in your life. To be honest, I'm just so happy a lot of you guys have been picking up this series. It is a great one, and yeah, this is 100% hands down my favourite read of 2020. It looks like my battery camera is about to die, so I'm just gonna do this outro really quickly. But yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to you guys for watching this video. Hopefully some of the series that I mentioned today are great recommendations for you guys for your collection. But yeah, I just want to say a big thank you and send the warmest hugs to you guys, you know. That was so awkward. Yeah, I love you guys so much. Literally, the love and support for this channel, you guys are amazing. I love how lively you all are in the comment section as well, and just being so supportive. Like literally 2020, I'm glad I made this channel and be able to make friends with you guys and that stuff, and just basically be able to share this passion of manga. And I love that you guys are always recommending me manga to buy next time. But yeah, definitely rinsing my bank. Jokes. But yeah, I just really had a great time just creating this channel, just creating content for you guys, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying my content, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy it in 2021. But yeah, I'm gonna go now. I'll see you guys next week, and yeah, bye, have a great day. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, guys. Okay, bye.